The black satin blindfold smelled of Nick's cologne and fresh Colorado snow. "Last surprise of the night, Mrs. Caldwell," he whispered, guiding me out of the St. Regis Aspen's private elevator. Our reception had ended 90 minutes earlier. 250 guests, live oaks strewn with Edison bulbs, my veil still sparkling under the mountain stars. I laughed, tipsy on champagne and forever. The doors opened to freezing wind and the thunder of rotor blades. A matte black Sikorsky waited on the rooftop helipad, lights off. "Nick, seriously?" "Trust me, sugar. One more gift before paradise." He helped me up the steps in my lace train. Only when the door sealed and we lifted above the Rockies did he untie the blindfold. Red emergency lighting bathed the cabin. Courtney, his sister, who'd flown in for the wedding, sat opposite, legs crossed, sipping champagne like this was normal. In my lap lay a navy blue U.S. passport I had never seen. I opened it with trembling fingers. Name Emily Rebecca Cole, D.O.B., 3/12/1998. Photo, me passed out in my wedding dress. Veil crooked, taken minutes ago. Issuing office, fraudulent Miami stamp. The helicopter banked hard east. Aspen's lights vanished beneath us. Nick leaned close, voice stripped of every ounce of southern charm. "Sleep, Emily. When you wake up, Isabella Hart will be legally dead, and $3 million will belong to someone who actually deserves it." He produced a syringe from his tuxedo pocket. The needle caught the red light like fresh blood. I screamed. Courtney lunged, pinning my arms. The prick in my neck was ice cold. The last thing I heard before darkness swallowed me was the pilot's Carolina drawl over the intercom. ETA Gander, Newfoundland for fuel, then direct across the pond. No flight plan filed. I woke strapped to a Gulfstream G650 seat, cruising altitude, cabin lights blood red. My wrists were zip-tied to the armrests. Outside the window, nothing but black Atlantic. Nathan Cole, no longer Nick, sat across, jacket off, sleeves rolled, sipping bourbon like we were still on our honeymoon. Courtney scrolled her phone, AirPods in, humming Wagon Wheel. "Welcome back, Emily Rebecca Cole," he said, tasting the fake name. I jerked against the ties. "Let me go, you psycho." He smiled the same smile that had sold me on forever 6 hours ago. 3 million reasons say no. Grandma Evelyn's trust hit yesterday morning. Quiet codicil I helped her Nashville lawyer draft last Christmas. My stomach flicked. Grandma had died 3 weeks ago. I'd been too busy planning our perfect Colorado wedding to notice anything weird. Courtney looked up. "She's bleeding. Second dose?" "Not yet. Let her watch America disappear." He spun his tablet. My Instagram story, posted from my phone. Selfie of me, asleep on the jet, captioned, "Dream honeymoon, starts now." Y'all, off-grid, 2 weeks. Madison had already commented 3 hardalls. The moving map, 700 miles east of Newfoundland, heading southeast. No land for hours. 1 locked cockpit door. 1 tiny lavatory. Just us and 41,000 feet of nothing. I let my head loll, buying time. Under the blanket, my right thumb found the loose screw in the armrest. 1 twist. 2. Turbulence slammed the jet. Summer storm. Courtney's champagne sloshed. Nathan unbuckled to help. Chance. Screw free. 1 wrist loose. I snapped the second tie against the jagged edge. Skin tore, blood warm, but free. I lunged for the emergency sat phone under the seat. FAA mandated over water. Punched 911 sat. Georgia operator answered instantly. "Global Rescue, state your emergency. This is Isabella Hart on Gulfstream N650GC. Kidnapped by Nathan Cole, wanted in Florida and Tennessee. Track this signal, we're over the Atlantic." Nathan spun, eyes feral. He charged. I swung the metal phone base like a hammer. The metal phone base cracked against Nathan's temple with a sickening thud. He staggered, blood streaming down his perfect jawline. Courtney screamed and lunged, but turbulence slammed the jet again. She crashed into the bulkhead. I kept the live sat phone pressed to my ear. "Suspect armed, taser on board," I shouted. The Georgia operator stayed calm. "Signal locked. FBI and Coast Guard have you. Hold on, man." Nathan roared, ripping the phone from my hand and smashing it against the floor. But it was too late. The moving map flashed red, diverting. Lajes Field, Azores. The cockpit door burst open. The co-pilot, ex-Navy, built like a linebacker, barreled out, grabbed Nathan in a chokehold. "Down. Federal crime, asshole." Nathan elbowed him in the ribs, but the pilot joined the fight, pinning Nathan's arms. Courtney curled into a ball, sobbing. I scrambled backward, heart hammering. The co-pilot zip-tied Nathan's wrists with his own spare cuffs, standard on private jets after 9/11. "Ma'am, you okay?" he asked, breathing hard. I nodded, tears mixing with blood. "FBI's waiting on the ground," he said. "We're 10 minutes out." Through the window, the Azores appeared, black volcanic islands ringed by white waves. Lajes Field runway lights cut the darkness. The jet dropped fast. Seatbelt alarms screamed. Nathan thrashed, cursing. Courtney whimpered, it was just for the money. Touchdown was brutal. Tires screeched, reverse thrust roaring. The second the stairs deployed, U.S. Air Force security forces and Portuguese judicial police stormed aboard. Black rifles, red dots dancing on Nathan's chest. "Hands up, FBI!" Nathan's last look at me was pure hate. They dragged him down the steps into the Azorean rain. Courtney followed, crying. A female airman wrapped me in a blanket. "Isabella Hart?" I nodded, shaking. "Welcome to freedom, ma'am." For the first time since the blindfold, I believed her. The Lajes Field hangar smelled of jet fuel and coffee. Special Agent Lauren Brooks, Miami FBI, windbreaker soaked, met me at the bottom of the stairs. She took one look at the shredded wedding dress and said, "Isabella Hart, you just took down a ghost we've hunted for years." Medics cut the zip ties off my wrists and wrapped my bleeding hands. Brooks handed me her phone. "Your friend Madison's on the line." Madison's scream sob nearly broke me. "I knew it when your story posted from the middle of the damn ocean." I called Nashville PD, then the FBI tip line. In the debrief room, Brooks laid out the board. 5 previous brides across Florida, Tennessee, Texas. All vanished on honeymoons. 2 bodies found, staged overdoses. 3 still missing. Total stolen, $11.4 million. My $3 million from Grandma Evelyn's trust was the biggest score yet. Brooks slid a photo, Nathan in a different tux, arm around a redhead who looked just like me. Wife number 3, Everglades. Last year, I stared until tears came. Then, the rage. "I want to help bury him," I said. Brooks smiled. "Welcome to the task force, Miss Hart." That night, in a secure base room, Madison flew in on an Air Force transport. We hugged until we couldn't breathe. The FBI recovered 82% of the funds, frozen mid-transfer to the Caymans. Nathan's entire network cracked. 3 more accomplices arrested in Miami and Nashville. 6 months later, I stood in a Nashville federal courtroom. Nathan in orange, no charm left. I testified first. When I repeated his whisper, "Till death do us part," just got a deadline, sugar, a juror wiped tears. Defense tried cold feet. Brooks buried them with cockpit audio, bank records, 5 wedding albums found in Nathan's Boca safe. Jury out 43 minutes. Guilty. Life, no parole. As they dragged him past, Nathan looked at me. "I loved you, Bella." I smiled. "You loved my money. I loved living." Outside the Nashville courthouse, cameras flashed like paparazzi lightning. Madison held my hand as reporters shouted questions. I stepped to the microphone in a simple navy blazer. No veil, no tears. "This verdict is for every woman who ever trusted the wrong smile," I said. The clip went viral in hours. 3 weeks later, Madison and I launched Blindfold Alert, an app that cross-references dating profiles against federal watch lists, flags rushed engagements, and offers instant FBI reporting. Within 6 months, we'd stopped 4 weddings and helped recover $2.7 million for victims. The Today Show called us the sisters who broke the groom scam ring. I used the restitution money to buy a little beach cottage on the Alabama Gulf Coast. White clapboard, porch swing, waves loud enough to drown nightmares. Some nights I still wake reaching for a blindfold that isn't there. But then I hear the Gulf, smell the salt, and remember. I flew off with a monster and landed exactly where I was meant to be, alive, loud, and unbreakable. Madison held my hand as reporters shouted questions. I stepped to the microphone in a simple navy blazer, no veil, no tears. "This verdict is for every woman who ever trusted the wrong smile," I said. The clip went viral in hours. 3 weeks later, Madison and I launched Blindfold Alert, an app that cross-references dating profiles against federal watch lists, flags rushed engagements, and offers instant FBI reporting. Within 6 months, we'd stopped 4 weddings and helped recover $2.7 million for victims. The Today Show called us the sisters who broke the groom scam ring. I used the restitution money to buy a little beach cottage on the Alabama Gulf Coast. White clapboard, porch swing, waves loud enough to drown nightmares. Some nights I still wake reaching for a blindfold that isn't there. But then I hear the Gulf, smell the salt, and remember. I flew off with a monster and landed exactly where I was meant to be, alive, loud, and unbreakable. Grandma Evelyn's picture sits on my mantle. Her trust fund, now fully restored, seeds scholarships for women rebuilding after fraud. Madison jokes we're the anti-Cupid FBI. I've started dating again, coffee only, full background checks, no blindfolds. The first guy who suggested a surprise weekend got laughed out the door. To every woman listening, if the surprise feels like a cage, rip the damn blindfold off and scream. Someone will hear you. I did. I'm Isabella Hart. I married a lie once. Now I'm married to the truth, and she's a hell of a lot better partner. 2 years later, I stood on my Alabama porch at sunrise, coffee steaming, watching dolphins chase mullet in the Gulf. No blindfold nightmares anymore, just gulls and the smell of freedom. Blindfold Alert hit 1 million downloads last month. We've stopped 12 weddings, returned $9.4 million, and testified before Congress for stronger identity theft laws. Madison and I were on the cover of People. Brides Who Broke the Groom. Nathan Cole rots in USP Atlanta, Supermax. Courtney sings like a canary from a women's camp in Texas. The other missing brides' families finally have answers. Some closure, some graves. I still get letters. Thank you for saving my daughter. I almost married him too. Every one goes in a box on my shelf. Proof that surviving wasn't selfish. I speak at colleges now. Same slide deck, same line that always hushes the room. Love shouldn't need a fake passport. Last month, a handsome architect from Mobile asked me to dinner. He brought his own background check, unprompted. We laughed so hard, the waiter thought we were drunk. Maybe we were, drunk on second chances. Some nights I walk the beach barefoot. Wedding ring long melted into a tiny anchor charm on a chain around my neck. Not a shackle anymore, a reminder. I was carried over a threshold into hell, blindfolded and drugged. And I still found my way out. To every woman still wearing the blindfold, literal or not, rip it off, scream, fight. The sky is big, the world is wide, and there's always a runway with your name on it. I'm Isabella Hart. I said I do to a monster once. Now I say I did to surviving, and damn, it feels good. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next life story with love and respect.